All right, everyone, welcome to part 2 of our FA Cup countdown. Yesterday we looked at 1949. Today we're looking at 1961, our second attempt to win the trophy. On May the 15th, we'll be going for a 5th visit to the FA Cup to try and beat Chelsea. So hopefully, touch wood, we will get there. Well, let's go back in time to 1961. 60 years ago. Well before even I was born. Well, this was the 80th FA Cup final to take place. It took place on May the 6th, 1961 at Wembley, and was played against Spurs, and was played in front of 100,000 people. Can you imagine being in a crowd of 100,000 people nowadays? I don't think that will happen. Spurs had won the league and were going for the league and cup double. Leicester had finished 6th. Which is a huge achievement for Leicester. It's very similar to now. We could literally finish 3rd, finish 2nd, and get to the final, but we need to win the final this time to make it. But back in 1961, we finished 6th and got to the final. We played 9 games to get to the final, with a replay to get past Birmingham. Yes, a replay again. 12 years earlier, we played Birmingham in the cup and we got to the final. This time, we needed a replay to get past them in the 5th round. In the 6th round, we also needed a replay to get past Barnsley. And then in the semi-final, we needed 2 replays to get past Sheffield United. But we got there. We got past Sheffield United after 2 replays in the semi-final, whereas Spurs only played 6 games. Spurs wore white shirts and dark blue shorts, while Leicester wore their typical kit back in the day of blue shirts and white shorts. Spurs were captained by the great Danny Blanchflower, and Leicester were captained by Jimmy Walsh. Again, as this 49 Cup final, all 22 players were from the UK, Scottish, English and Irish. But the game didn't really start well for Leicester. Leicester were frustrated by Spurs, and in the early exchanges went well. But fullback Lenny Chalmers got injured, damaged his right leg after 20 minutes.
Then the Wembley hoodoo struck once more. Len Chalmers badly hurt, and Leicester fated to be virtually 1 man short for the match.
So with him injured, he had to literally stood on the halfway line, and in the end, he had to go off with 10 minutes to go. If you remember back then, there was no subs, so he just nuisance value on the halfway line and couldn't do an awful lot. Not that he didn't do an awful lot, he couldn't do an awful lot. Spurs were unfortunate not to score in the 38th minute when this happened.
Was evidently enjoying himself on the right. He passed to Jones. A goal. To Spurs' dismay, referee Kelly ruled it offside. Though spirited attacks were made by both teams, neither defence was penetrating.
That ended it. Cliff Jones' goal was disallowed for offside in the 38th minute, and the first half ended goalless. The second half kicked off much in the same vein as the first. It ended and until the deadlock was broken until the 66th minute, when Bobby Smith, the England striker, latched onto a pass from Terry Dyson, which was neatly turned and smashed the ball past Gordon Banks. The goal naturally lifted Spurs, and 9 minutes later, victory was sealed when Smith returned the compliment and crossed to Dyson to head the ball home for the second goal to complete the double. And that was the end of our second trip to Wembley. Yet again, 12 years after the first one, we didn't quite manage it. And unfortunately, Spurs managed to get the league and cup double, the first time since Aston Villa had done a league and cup double back in 1897. That's how long ago it was. Spurs managed to do the double the first time. I'd just like to thank Leicester City Programmes for the photos, and my mate Nobby from Lineker's for the trophy. Please like and comment on the video, and come back tomorrow when we'll be looking at part 3, the 1963 Cup final. Come on, Leicester!